I'm Dave Mercer.
And I'm Matt Pangrac.
Welcome to the Cull, a weekly sport fishing debate show. And this week's topic was brought up by Panger. Winning an Elite Series event should buy you an extra year of qualification. So the next year you're able to qualify scot-free. And Panger, it sounds nice. And, I'm going through my head and I'm thinking about all the people that, have won an event and then unqualified for the Elite Series, and I feel horrible for them, but I'm at a loss. I mean, how can you, just a week ago, we battled winning you're in for the Bassmaster Classic, and you said there is no way that 4 days of competition should get you in the Super Bowl of bass fishing, the biggest event there is out there, blah, 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 blah. But now you're saying that you should be able to win an event and you get a whole other year on the Elite Series. That's more valuable than countless people like yourself, literally. Yourself trying to make the Bassmaster Elite Series. Your blood, sweat, tears, money, everything, your entire life that you've put on hold, literally, while you chase this dream. You're telling me that somebody winning an event should stop you from going in? Because that's what's going to be. Because the Elite Series has already agreed that they're trying to reduce the number. I mean, they want it to be less than 100. But if you start throwing winning, you're in, and you get an extra year, 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 it's not the freaking Oprah Winfrey show. Nobody gets an extra year. I mean, I don't know how a guy who said you can't get in the Classic for winning says that this makes sense, but I can't wait to hear your opinion.
It's because it's not the Bassmaster Classic. It's the Bassmaster Elite Series. And the pinnacle is the Bassmaster Classic, but your career is made on the Bassmaster Elite Series. And currently the way the structure is set up, Dave, you make the Elite Series, you have 2 bad years, you're out. You're back to the Bassmaster Opens. Now, you're talking about adding spots here, willy-nilly and that. Bassmaster decides on how many spots there are. The anglers decide on how many spots there are too. That is a fluid number. It's been everywhere from 75 to 108.
Yep.
Since the beginning of the Elite Series in 2006. There is no, it has to be this number. So if you have 2-3 anglers who finish outside of Classic qualification but happen to win an event that year, yeah, you got an extra angler or 2 on the Elite Series the following year. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's not a die-hard number where it is. But take this
into the guy who doesn't have to introduce all of them. It is exhausting. I don't want an extra one on there. At the end of that, sorry, I digress.
Take this into account. It's hard to make a living as a professional angler.
Very hard.
One of the best ways to establish yourself as a professional bass angler is to do what?
To make the Bassmaster Classic. Win. Yeah.
To win an event.
Okay.
Anything. Yeah. Bassmaster Classic, Open,
most valuable thing
Elite
in the sport.
Series. Yeah. It's the most valuable thing. So what you're saying is you could have an angler who has separated himself from the mass, who has proven that he is an Elite Series caliber through the qualification process, and then has struggled on the Elite Series, which is understandable because it is the first time at that level fishing against that competition. But during his final year, even though he has struggled for the first year and a half, he wins. Now he has value to his brand, not only the $100,000 and all the incentives that come with it, but now he has name recognition. He has everything that has gone in life. He has the foundation that is so hard to achieve with that win under his belt. And then he fishes 2 more and they say, yeah, he didn't do any good. And now everybody wants to see him the next year who loved that win that he had. I'm here to see Jim. Well, Jim sucked for a year and a half. And even though you're here to see him, he's gone. Now you're taking his ability to make a living out. In golf, you get exemptions after you win tournaments to come back to that venue for 10 years because it builds memories. It builds a fan base.
Yeah.
All of this is doing is maybe adding 1 or 2 more guys and giving those guys who are achieving and living their dreams a platform to build upon the success that they had instead of having to start over and rebuild from the opens.
Well, you know what else they could do? They could just reinstate winning you're in, and that same person wins an event. They go to the Bassmaster Classic and they achieve exactly everything that you explained right there. I mean, they get the the love from the sponsors. They get that exact same guy that shows up to the Elite Series looking for Jim. Hey, guess what? What would be worse than showing up to the Elite Series looking for Jim and finding out Jim's not here anymore? Watching Jim win.
How many guys
going to the Bassmaster?
340. What was it? What's the number that's across the classic stage?
It's less than 600 people, I think. So 700 people or something like that.
It's hallowed ground, that classic stage is.
Yes.
A lot of guys at that top level that aren't in the Bassmaster Classic. You can't compare the Bassmaster Classic to the Bassmaster Elite Series. The Bassmaster Elite Series will allow these anglers to make a living with an additional year with a win under their belt. I don't see any downside to it. You're not taking any spots out of the Opens. You're not reducing the value of the Bassmaster Classic.
But you're going to, though. Indirectly, you're going to. I mean, because Bass has already proved that they're trying to get that number down. And there's a good reason for that. Anglers today are not getting what they deserve, really. I mean, to be honest, nobody ever says it. And I know I'm going to, whatever I say on this show, somebody says, oh, he's such a corporate shrill or whatever the word is. And I totally am. I mean, they pay my bills. But if, where was I going with that? I had a really good point. But where was I, Panger? Bring me back. What was I talking about?
You're talking about the value of the Classic, the value of the Elite Series, and the value of a win.
That's right. And they're trying to get the size of the field smaller, right, so that the anglers get paid more. Really, I mean, if Bass was this big demon that everybody tries to think that Bass is, they would just put 150 people in the Elite Series. They'd make a bunch of people really happy, but it's not the right thing long-term for the sport. I mean, I got to give Bass credit for trying to drive that number down, and Bass doesn't make any more money by driving that number down. They don't, they make more money by driving that number up, but by driving it down, the one group that makes more money is the anglers, because the best way, people are just like real estate. It's a commodity. Right? The less of that is available, the more valuable it is. The less spots that there is in the Elite Series, the more valuable it is. And if you start increasing that number, it's going to hurt the anglers indirectly regardless. That's my point.
It's a fair point.
I was very confused for a while there.
I just think that you've never seen a year where you have more than 3 anglers win an event and not requalify for it. In most cases, it's 0 or 1. And I think that for that angler, I think it would be beneficial to the organization to be able to promote another champion throughout the year. And I also think it would give all of those anglers that are getting cut every year as the field gets smaller and smaller, the 12 to 15, 18 anglers who are going into the second half of the season statistically out of it to requalify for next year. It would give them a reason to fish. You mentioned it. You mentioned it. The swinging for the fences, the most overused term in it. How it changes the way people fish. You want to call a Cinderella story, a 9th inning, 2 out, 3-2 count grand slam to win it. Have a guy who's in 85th in the points and knows that he's headed back to the Open, roll into the last event of the year, and out of nowhere have 4 great days and have new life breathed into his career, knowing that win will result in another year on the Elite Series. And then let me take it one step further, Dave. Think of the marketing potential that this angler has. He now says, hey, I'm on the Elite Series the next year and I have a win under my belt. Now you are a champion and you have job security for the following year. How hard do you think it is for that angler to say, hey, I won. Yeah, I got all that stuff, but I'm not even going to be at that level next year. It's a loss.
The problem is you're only talking about that angler. Yes, that does help
angler.
That one angler.
But as a
dropping
whole,
the field size as a whole helps all of the anglers. You know what I mean? Like when
add one or maybe none, 1 or 2 a year. It's not like you guys have had a number. It's not like Bass has had a number. It's been 75 to 108. Plus, there's never been a year where everyone makes it through the whole year. You'll be right back at that number by the end of the year if you add that angler back in, because someone will drop out. Someone will tear rotator cuff. Leg will need surgery. They'll have triplets.
Yeah.
Something will happen.
Yeah.
You want to have however many it is.
Let them all in. Let them all in. Come on.
No. No.
Because that's what it
Just the guy who wins one. Just the guy who wins one.
You've never seen a year where more than 3 people
Cinderella stories.
But
people
it could
love
happen.
A Cinderella story. People
It could
love a
happen,
Cinderella
right?
story. Cinderella story.
Exactly. So what you're saying is winning, you're into the Bassmaster Classic.
No, because that would cheapen the Bassmaster Classic. I'm talking about the Elite Series. It doesn't cheapen the Elite Series because they've already proven that they belong at that level.
Well, it doesn't really matter what we think, and it doesn't look like we're going to agree anytime soon. Let us know what you think. Panger's harebrained idea. Win and you're in for another season on the Bassmaster Elite
Keep or
Series.
call.
Keep or call.